Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a PS1. This takes me back my very first console. I loved that thing. If you have any more building related needs, feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for not only my consoles and controllers playlist, which will house a lot more things exactly like this, guys, just in case you're interested, but I'll also include links to other stuff that I think that you might like as well. Moving on, if you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You will need some regular old clay. Also, grab yourself some cyan stained clay. Then grab yourself some black wool, dark grey wool, light grey wool, white wool, red, lime green. You will also need dark green wool, and we will need a couple of other colours still later on, but we'll just have to make do with these for now. So once you have each one of these, and once you've figured out what you want to make it, I'll be making right here, you're going to want to kick off your PS1 with a single black wool on the floor. Then from that black wool, do an up left diagonal. Then go up on top of that diagonal by 22. That's 2, 2, 22. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Then from this 22nd block, do an upright diagonal. And go right of it by 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then take out your dark grey wool and go down from this 6th block by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then go right by 2. 1, 2. Then do an upright diagonal and go right by 1. Then do an upright diagonal and go right by 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then do a bottom right diagonal and go right by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal. And go right by 2. 1, 2. That went awfully wrong, didn't it? A little bit uncoordinated there. Anyway, once you did your bottom right diagonal and you went right by 2, you then want to go down by 2. 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal and go down by 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do a bottom left diagonal and go down by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal and go left by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal and go left by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal and go left by 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then do an up left diagonal and go left by 1. Then do an up left diagonal and go left by 1. Then do an up left diagonal and go up by 1. Then do an up left diagonal and go up by 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do an upright diagonal and go up by 1 to give you a shape which should look a little bit like this. And what we've essentially made, guys, on top of the PS1, you have a big giant opening disc tray. That's exactly what we've just made there. Once you have that, you now want to take out your black wool again and you want to return it back up to where we started this. And going right of this first initial dark grey wool, you want to go right of it by 16 with your black. So that's 1, 6, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You then want to go right by 1 with your dark grey wool. Then go down from that dark grey wool until you connect to the opposite side of the disc tray. Then take out your black wool and on top of the first dark grey wool that you just placed there and then went down from, on top of this just do a black wool. Then go right of it by 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do a bottom right diagonal. Now go down from that diagonal until you hit the floor, except when you do hit the floor, or if you do hit the floor, just destroy the bottom block. So you don't want to touch the floor, you just want to be like 1 block off the floor, like that. Once you have this, you now want to take this bottom block that is not touching the floor and do a bottom left diagonal from it. Then go left by 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do an up left diagonal, and go left by 15. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then do a bottom left diagonal and connect that diagonal all the way back to where you first started, and you should end up with something that should look exactly like this, guys, and that's perfect. That is pretty much the outline of the PS1. I know it looks a little simple now actually, but it's going to look a lot better in just a couple of minutes. So once you've reached this point right here, guys, this is what you want to do next. Take out your dark grey wool and come all the way down to the bottom left hand corner of your PS1. On top of this first initial block of black wool that we placed right here, you want to do a dark grey wool. Then go right of it until you hit this black wool on the right of us. Then from this black wool from this dark grey wool that touches that black wool, you want to go up on top of this by 3 with your dark grey. 1, 2, 3. Then go left by 1. Then do, still going left, 1 cyan clay, 1 lime wool, 1 cyan clay, 2 dark grey. You then want to take out your cyan clay and go underneath that lime wool by 1, and also go up on top of that lime wool by 1. Then place a dark grey wool on top of that. Then go left of that dark grey wool by 1. Do an up left diagonal, followed by an up right diagonal. Then go up on top of that diagonal with 1 cyan clay, 1 dark grey, 1 cyan clay. Then take this dark grey wool that is sandwiched between the cyan stained clay, place a cyan stained clay on the right of it, left of it. Then come back down to here, and where we have this dark grey wool that has all of this balanced on top of it, you now want to go right of this by 1 with your dark grey. Then do a bottom right diagonal. You actually want to reverse that because you don't want to only go right of this block by 1, you want to go right of it by 2. Whoops, my bad. So 1 and 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal, followed by a bottom left diagonal. You then want to take out your dark green wool, place a dark green wool in the very center to give you this. So there we have the on button, there we have, I can't remember, one opens it, one's the power button, one's a reset button. There's quite a few things going on there. I can't remember what all of them do, it's been so long, but that is what you want to have so far for that, guys. Now, once you have that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So come down to here, where we have like this bottom center row of black wool right here, starting on the left hand side, going right at this dark grey wool, you want to do this sequence of blocks. Do 2 dark grey, then 4 regular clay, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 4 dark grey, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 4 clay, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 3 dark grey, 1, 2, 3, then make the rest of the row, and by rest of the row I mean the next 5 blocks light grey wool, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then do 1 dark grey to give you this. And what you can then do is just fill the under part here in with dark grey wool, like that. You're also going to want to take this right hand end dark grey wool and extend it, coming up all the way up to the top of the console until you almost hit the top. And what you want to do just before you hit the top is just place a light grey wool. So you want to have a right hand row of dark grey wool that runs all the way from the bottom all the way up to the top, and you just want to stop it 1 block short with a light grey wool like that. Now, once you've done that, this is what you want to do next. So come all the way over to the left-hand side here again. And starting from this dark grey wool block, on top of this row that we've just done, do this sequence of blocks going right. Do 1 light grey, 1 black, then 4 dark grey, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, that's not dark grey, is it? Dark grey, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, fix that problem. Then do 1 black wool, 2 light grey, 1 black wool, 4 dark grey, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that is dark grey this time, well done me. Then 1 black wool, 1 light grey, 1 dark grey. Then make the rest of the row light grey wool, like this. You then, for the row just above it, on top of each one of those blocks, you can just stack an entire row of dark grey wool like that. And that is all you want to have, guys. Very, very simple. easy row. Once you've done that row, you now want to come to the bottom right hand corner of your PS1 where we have this empty space, and on top of this right hand dark grey wall, place 2 light grey wall coming up. That will be 1 and 2. On top of that, do a cyan stained clay. Then go left of that cyan stained clay by 1 with your light grey wall, and we are actually encountering the need of another colour, guys. So a colour we don't need anymore is dark green wool. Get rid of it and grab yourself some cyan wool. There we go, perfect. So continuing to go left, do 1 cyan wool, 1 light grey, 1 cyan clay. And then on top of and underneath those light greys and cyan walls, you then just want to do a row of cyan stained clay on top of and underneath, like that. Boom, perfect. And what we want to have so far, guys, should look a little bit like this. So we're now going to add in the last of the details before we need to grab another color, guys. So all we have to do now is add a lot of white all over the place, and then we just have to do the logo itself. So let's do exactly that. Let me show you where the white goes. The white's really easy. So on the left hand side of the console, we want a strip of white that kind of just sits like an upside down L shape in the corner like this. Perfect. And we also want to add a strip of white just underneath the top left hand side of the disc tray like that. What we also want to do is we want to add some white wool underneath the disc tray part that just sits directly underneath the dark grey wool. I would do a better job of explaining this, guys, or I'd do a better job of showing you, but it's actually really easy to see where you've got to place this stuff. You're majoritively placing all of this like directly underneath or on top of the outline for the disc tray. Like it's going to be really easy to see where you've got to place it. So this is all of the white wool that you want to place in your PS1, guys. So that's what you want to have. Very easy. Now, once you've got that taken care of, we have 2 things left to do. Let me show you what we have to do. And obviously, pause this if necessary if you have to pause this and apply all of the white onto your PS1 yourself. So what we now want to do is add a row of 4 dark grey wool just at the top, underneath the top center part of the disc tray right there. Just a row of 4 dark grey, just like that. And what we also want to do is just in the bottom center of the disc tray, on top of the 4 center blocks that we have right here, and you'll be able to count them out easy enough, on top of these stack 2 rows of 4 light grey wool like that. That'll be 1 and 2. Then on top of that, do a row of 4 dark grey. You can then get rid of your white wool, grab yourself some yellow wool, and what you then want to do for the next row is this. So going from left to right, do 1 yellow, 1 red, 1 yellow, 1 green. For the next row, do 1 green, 2 red, 1 cyan. And for the last row, just do 2 red wool in the 2 center spots of that little mini row that we have there. And you'll just want to end up with something that should look like this. And I know that this thing still looks like a bit of a mess, guys, but trust me when I tell you, once we fill this thing in with light grey, it's actually going to look really cool. And that's all we have to do from here. So once you've reached this point right here, all you have to do is, like I said, fill the entire thing in with light grey wool, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I don't know what is going on this tutorial, guys. I have no idea why I can't get a sentence out without like stuttering and slurring my words. I don't know if it's because I'm tired or what. I have absolutely no idea. Or maybe it's because it's a full moon tonight and everything's out of whack. Who knows? Maybe there's some sort of witch covenant out there that is just really trying to make me look silly. And I don't know where I'm going with that whatsoever. I've got no clue. But I will tell you guys that the PS1, as I mentioned at the start of this video, was my very first console, and I loved this thing. I'm not sure how many of you guys actually got to experience this whilst it was relevant, the PS1, but it was such a great time to be a gamer, guys. Rayman, Disney Hercules, Mickey Mouse, Final Fantasy, Worms, other games that I can't remember. Many other games on the PS1. There were so many, I don't know. There was loads of really stupid games that I remember. There wasn't like a massive amount of like quality, you still want to play them today games, but there was just a load of silly, like really cheap fun games. Pandemonium's one that springs to mind. This is back when like renting games was a thing. Like you didn't really want to fork out like 30 quid every time to play a game that'd take you only like a day to complete. Like I just used to rent loads and loads of games, and Pandemonium was always a fun one. I always used to go back to that. I mean, they may not make any sense to you. You guys might not know anything that I've just rattled off, although you'll probably put most of them together. Pandemonium was fun, actually, thinking about it. Have a look at that on YouTube. That was a weird game. That was a really, really weird game. I think they actually did a sequel. Just check that out and see what we were working with in the 90s. It was a rough time, but a good time. So this is what you want to have, guys, once you have completely filled in your PS1. And didn't I tell you that it'd look a hell of a lot better once we actually filled this in with light grey wool? I mean, sometimes you can see how good things are going to look before you fill them in, but this is one that it really needs to get to the end before you can appreciate it. But hopefully you guys like this, hopefully you've managed to make it, hopefully you search Pandemonium PS1 on YouTube and see just what an absolute, see how far we've come. Basically, just see how far we've come, guys. So hopefully you like it, hopefully you've managed to make it. If you have, guys, I'd really appreciate it if you could give me a like, favorite, share. I'm more than happy to do more things like this. I think next I'm going to do a Nintendo 3DS, and then I'm not really sure what I'll do in like the console/controller/electronics category, but you guys can comment down below and maybe I'll take one of your suggestions. Who knows if I fancy like making anything that you guys suggest. Thank you very much for watching. Like, favorite, share. Feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for all of my other various tutorial playlist. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not cutting that out of the video. Tutorial playlist. Consoles and controllers is the playlist that has a lot of stuff like this. If you guys like this, you'll love a load of the other things. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.